Imagine stepping into a literal death trap just because you're hungry. That is the raw audacity of a spotted hyena. Most predators look at a troop of 24 baboons and see a wall of fangs and fury, but the hyena sees an opening. In the wild, there are no second chances, and this scavenger isn't here to beg for scraps. It's here to take what it wants, even if the odds are 20-1. It is one thing to be hungry, but it is another thing entirely to be suicidal. Most hunters look for the weak, the old, or the isolated, not the hyena. It walks directly into the heart of a troop 24 baboons deep and doesn't even blink. This isn't just a hunt. It is an act of pure, unfiltered arrogance. The hyena doesn't wait for an opening. It forces one. It lunges into a sea of screaming primates, ignoring the collective fury of the troop. Targets a full-grown adult, the most dangerous member of the group. Dust chokes the air as the world turns into a whirlwind of teeth and claws. Against every logical law of nature, the hyena pins its prey. It takes a special kind of terror to stare down 24 enemies and decide that you are the one in charge. In that cloud of dust, the hyena proves it. It isn't just looking for a meal, it's committing an act of total dominance. This isn't a struggle for survival anymore, it is a cold-blooded execution. The narrative has shifted. While the hyena has the bone-crushing jaw, it only has one set of them. The baboons have 24. This is no longer about a single moment of audacity. It is a war of attrition. In the wild, raw power is a sprint, but a troop's collective fury is a marathon. That initial burst of brute force from the hyena is terrifying, but it is also exhausting. To hold down an adult baboon while 20 others are tearing at your flanks requires a level of energy that cannot be sustained. The hyena is a tank, but even a tank can be dismantled if you have enough hands. The hyena's lungs are burning. Every snap of its jaw takes a massive toll. The troop isn't backing down. They aren't just screaming, they are coordinating. The predator's eyes, once full of arrogance, are now darting for an exit. The strength of the baboon does not live in one individual. It lives in the relentless willingness of the group to keep pressing. As the hyena's muscles begin to falter, the troop capitalizes. They don't need to match the hyena's bite force. They just need to overwhelm its senses. Dust still hangs in the air, but the sound has changed. The hyena's growls are becoming frantic. The troop is pressing with an advantage that leaves zero room for escape. They are biting, pulling, and screaming in a unified wall of resistance that turns the hunter into the hunted. The hyena realized too late that it didn't just walk into a pantry, it walked into a feud. The audacity that brought it here is now the weight that might bury it. In a world of no second chances, the hyena is discovering that 24 determined baboons are a force of nature that even the strongest jaws in Africa cannot break. The arrogance is gone. The predator that walked in like a king is now looking for a back door that doesn't exist. This is the moment where the predator realizes that a single set of jaws, no matter how crushing, cannot compete with 48 hands and 24 hearts that refuse to quit. The hyena's lungs are screaming for air. Every time it snaps at one baboon, 3 more are on its back, tearing at its flanks and pulling at its legs. That legendary bite force? It's useless if you can't pin a target long enough to break it. The hyena is heavy, it's powerful, but it is slow compared to the collective lightning of the troop. The hyena's grip on the adult baboon slips. The troop senses the hesitation. They don't back off. They coil in tighter. What was once an open battlefield has become a suffocating wall of fur and fury. The hyena lunges one last time, not to kill, but to clear a path. It's a frantic, messy scramble. Dust erupts again, but this time it's the trail of a scavenger trying to vanish. But the baboons are relentless. They aren't letting it walk away with a lesson learned. They are pressing the advantage with a determination that leaves the hyena 0 room to breath. This is the true power of the troop. It isn't about who has the strongest bite, it's about who has the strongest will. The hyena's audacity brought it into the heart of the nightmare, but the baboon's unity is what's going to end it. As the predator tries to drag its exhausted body toward the brush, the troop remains a unified shadow, biting and screaming, proving that in this territory, numbers aren't just a statistic, they are a death sentence for the lone intruder.